and welcome to the Pod About God, a monthly podcast by CBN India. This month we are talking about addiction, and today we have with us a very special guest, Mr. Bidhan Pradhan, who is a recovering addict and now he's a counselor working in 3 rehab centers in Kalimpong. Welcome to the show, Mr. Bidhan. As we're talking about addiction, there are some addicts who feel that they are sinners and cannot come in front of God, and you yourself are a recovering addict. Were there any times in your life that you felt that you just cannot come to God, or you're very unworthy and God cannot use an addict?
Yes. I felt like that because as an addict, my actions were very, very sinful. So I thought I would never be forgiven. Now I realize because one day I asked God genuinely, I was really rock bottom at that time. And I asked Him, I was not born like this. I was not brought up like this. Oh God, please help me. I didn't realize then God is so forgiving, so loving, so caring, Then it came, the opportunities started coming to get well. Then I was sent to a rehab center. Then I got well, and after 7 months I was discharged. When I came back, then He gave me some time to improve myself, physically, mentally, spiritually. Without my knowing, He started using me to help other addicts. One addict can understand the other addict the best way. It's unparalleled, the help is unparalleled. So, yes, God can forgive, He can love, and He can use you. He can use an addict to help other addicts. That's how I feel. And you don't have to be perfect. My life was in shatters, then I knelt down and I prayed genuinely from my heart, and I was listened to. I was given this second chance, this opportunity, and I like what I do now.
We know that addiction not only affects the addict but family members as well. Could you tell us a few things how addiction can impact a family and their children?
In our term, in treatment's term, it's called co-addicts. My mother, father, my brothers, my sisters-in-law, and my sister and her husband, they suffered because they have their own individual life, Once there is a sick person, like I was there, the addict, they stop living their life. They stop living their life and they start living my life. They will come to my rescue. They will try to stop my addiction. And they become nervous wrecks, as soon as what happens. Like, I'll give you an example. As soon as if I enter the bathroom to have a genuine bath, genuinely, my mother would be listening, whether there are matchsticks burning or something like that, or she'll be checking my drawers all the time, and it's hell for them, And that disease remains, sometimes it takes time for them to get healed also, and it is affected even after recovery. They suffer, I'm kind of getting better, but it will take time for them to get better, They also become obsessive, compulsive, and very, very self-centered. Like, suppose my mother goes for a social occasion, without asking anybody, she would be talking about me, and she would be defending me, and sometimes she would come back hurt because someone told us like this, talked about me like this. I was not married when I was using, but it has some kind of it has put my nephews and nieces through some kind of trauma, Suppose I speak with a loud voice now, they still feel startled and things like that, It's quite sad, actually.
As you're talking about family and how addiction affects family, could you share with us a few steps or a few ways a family can love an addict or take care of an addict?
First of all, it's a disease. And its symptoms are most of the time illegal, and it's very, very hurtful. An addict might be hurting them, emotional blackmails, stealing, begging, borrowing, and bringing bad name to the family. If you understand the addict, it's a disease. It's not that like he's purposely become like that. So first thing is awareness. The parents should be aware, and that comes through prayer. Prayer, and you have to love, but very very. It should be firm. It should be firm, and addicts can talk, manipulate family very very easily, because family also, because of the emotional attachment, they fall for it also. My name. Even if he calls 100 times the wolf, they will still fall for it. And that is the time they have to be little aware of such things, and love them, but it should be firm. Like an addict will never want to go to a rehab, because the instant gratification he gets from drugs is so good that he doesn't want to go through the pain. There are a lot of other ways. You should not rescue him, from the troubles he gets into through drug-related troubles. And the main, it's a killer symptom also, is denial. Addict will never admit that he is an addict, and it's the family also who will never admit that my son is an addict or daughter is an addict, and they will try to project it. Parents will try to project it, because if he doesn't walk with that particular guy, or if she doesn't walk with that particular guy, my son or daughter would be all right. But as parents, they should know that why is my son or daughter working with that particular guy? Because they get along. Birds of the same feather flock together. That's why. So they should be aware of all that. But this addiction is so powerful to the addict and the family. Person gets adjusted to the disease, and somehow life, although painful, will go on. And they will pull up all the family members also. So that is the time you should be little firm and deal with it. There's a spiritual program. It's a treatable disease, and it works.
You mentioned parents playing a very important role, especially when putting an addict into rehab, or their children are going through addiction. You mentioned the importance of family. Could you tell us a few ways how parents can help with their child's addiction, and not just with substance abuse, but even with digital addiction, with gaming or with phones? How can a family help their children come out of addiction?
First of all, I think they should come out of the denial, parents. And secondly, it's because of the emotional attachment. As a counselor, I have to take family classes, so I counsel the parents also. And it is very difficult for them, and only very few of them, percentage-wise, it's very, very low. And if they can do it, it is for their freedom, because they are so obsessed with the child. It's very painful for them, that brings about the pain. And just the emotional detachment part, it's very difficult. And the child might feel, he's an addict after all. He might feel abandoned, and he might feel insecure and all that. And as parents, they'll be super concerned. But if they can do that emotional detachment, it helps them. And you just asked me about other addictions, like internet, mobile phones, and all that. I have a daughter, 6-year-old daughter, and we, bad on our part, we let her use a tab, from a very early age, and it had its effect. Like suppose being a Christian background, when I call her for prayer class, she gets very, very irritated because she's snatched away from her pleasure. It's the same thing, just like drugs. And we tried to stop it at once, but she had some kind of withdrawal. She couldn't sleep properly. She couldn't function properly. She was not reacting properly. So we have slowly now cut it down very slowly. Now it's all right, but it took some time. We had two patients. They did not abuse substance, but they were addicted to games. They came to our rehab, and I was their counselor. So we slowly told them, when I motivated them to understand that how like they don't have any plan. They wake up at their own time, they go to sleep at their own time. So we slowly taught them to implement daily structure on themselves. Wake up at certain time, do your duties, household chores, sweeping the room or something like that, and personal hygiene and all that. Very intelligent guys. And slowly we motivated them, and so slowly they improved, and slowly they got convinced. And then we started giving them counseling on constructive planning, like 2 years from now, where will I be? So they were intelligent, they had ambitions, they were working people, and they had become unmanageable because of this video games and all that. Of course, this what we use in the rehab is a 12 steps program. It's a Bible based program, and through that I think it worked.
Thank you so much, Bidhan, for joining us and explaining to us addiction and the importance of family, and how we can be sensitive to people with this disease and how we can help them get out of addiction and be in recovery. Because we know, as you said, recovery is possible. Hearing those stories were wonderful. Thank you so much. You've been watching The Pod About God. You can continue the conversation with us on our Facebook, Instagram, or YouTube. Until next time, have a wonderful day.